Hello, I'm Tangachan Chamboti. Was working in various multinational companies in Bangalore.
Hi, I am Jessie Tangachan and a former teacher.
So we had a very stressful life in Bangalore. Morning till evening, sleepless nights. Life was wearing out, so we thought we need better. So we searched for like a good farmland, and once we saw this, we instantly fell in love with this. This was the farm that we were meant to be. So we are so happy to be here.
See, ultimately marriage is a gamble, whether it's a love marriage or an arranged marriage. So if it clicks, it clicks. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So we met in Bhopal. Ours was an arranged marriage. So his college professor, he brought the proposal, and then our parents met and relatives, and then the arrangement was discussed, and everything went ahead, and our wedding was in Bhopal. We were blessed by God that it clicked beautifully, and it's been 35 years now and not even a single day of regret. I started working in 1987, and while teaching I did my studies also. So that time my salary was 987 rupees in 87.
When I married, her salary was 1100, mine was about some 700-800. But then we grew very fast. I grew up in a farming family, agriculture family in Kerala. The farming was already there in my mind. So while working in corporate, the best option would have been always the farming than going for any other IT business or something like that. And I also always wanted a backup. See, because in the office work atmosphere, things are so dynamic. Sometimes the roles get changed, you get transfers, and then you're always worried. Or I've seen a lot of people get stressed out to achieve their monthly targets. Because if they don't achieve the target, somebody else will take their place. So all these stresses pull down ultimately their performance in the office also. Whereas I didn't have any stress. I used to take everything very positively, because always I was also parallelly building my plan B. So that gave me a lot of strength and like confidence of doing things in corporate as well. So I could also be very successful in corporate life. So I wanted to get out of the corporate as fast as I can and move on to farming or agri business.
The 32 years that I was a teacher, I wanted to be my own master, which I wanted to be for a long time, but the situations weren't conducive for that. So finally a point came and I realized, yeah, this is it. Now I want to quit.
Initially I wanted to retire at the age of 45. So if I retire at 60, then my energy level will be very low, and I will be working in corporate with all the stresses. I will be acquiring a lot of other diseases like diabetics or hypertension, and retired life then would be very difficult. Like I would not have been able to do what I'm doing right now. So accordingly I made all my movements. I started buying lands with whatever resource I had. So that was how we migrated from village background to the corporate life, and from corporate to agripreneur life. So I bought this 22 acres of land in 2005. The finance primarily came from my corporate saving. The amount I got from Airtel as bonus. Plus I had sold my land in my hometown to my brother. Then I had personal borrowings from my friends and relatives, my brothers. Plus I had taken bank loan. So accordingly I managed around 1.1 CR just for the land. And that's how we organized the finance. In 2020 we started this project. So it took around 3 to 4 years to get to this setup, wherein we have taken about 2.5 CR, out of which about 1.5 is financed by the bank. The rest is I have had personal borrowings. Under the existing finance scheme, we have set up the chocolate manufacturing facility. We have a homestay, stay facility for 30 to 40 people we have. And then we have renovated our old Bangalore, so that we have sufficient space for dining and classrooms. When it comes to finance and accounting plus the farm management, I have my son to help me out in all the aspects.
So with regard to the homestay, we finished construction in Feb of 2025 last year, and it's been more than a year now. So it's only been 3 months. We've got a few bookings. I would say on average we're doing maybe about 30,000 per month, which is, of course, it's a small amount. We've just started. So when we talk about the business part of things, I would say divide it into 3 verticals basically. So one vertical is complete retail F&B, food and beverage, which includes almost 40 products that we've developed. The second vertical would be our service vertical, which is our homestay. And the third vertical would be more of a B2B, wherein we work with cafes, we work with restaurants, not just for chocolate, but also for teaching. For example, our Love On program, wherein we work with the Love On Academy Bangalore to teach students chocolate making. So across 3 verticals, currently per year our average revenue would be anywhere between 40 to 45 lakhs.
In addition to that, we also have other streams of income. That is, one is I keep providing consultancy. In consultancy, I help the other corporate people who come into the farming like me. So we buy back the produce. That's second additional stream. Third is we have farm visit program where people come and visit the farm. The primary income is from the agriculture income, the organic farming that we do. From cocoa, coconut and arecanut will contribute to around 35 to 40 lakhs at the current rate per annum. Looking back, my smartest financial decision was to do with all the market related investment, mutual funds, shares.
Unlike my father, I didn't choose the corporate life because I watched my father throughout the 30 years, and I saw the late nights, I saw the kind of unscheduled meetings and calls and travel, the amount of travel. And I also saw the importance of, through his journey, I reflected on my own life in a way that if I went down the same path and had to live the same life, I definitely would not want that for myself. And reason being is because being able to be in this farm, to run the farm and to run the business is definitely more challenging in a way, and it's a more 24/7 thing, but it gives me the satisfaction at the end of the day that that I control my time and I control what I can do with my time. So having that control over your time and over your life, I think that was priority for me when choosing this life over the corporate life.
So in January we got married. It's been 4 months now. I'm from Coorg. I did my engineering and I was working in an IT firm. So here I work on the tech part of the website, and in order to improve the online presence.
A lot of people have come and stayed here for more than a week. Then they have found a lot of difference in their health, curing their acne or their digestive system, and they feel more happy. So this will, a brief introduction to this kind of atmosphere gives them, that life can really be better, like if we change our environment. Like if you don't change our environment, then things don't change. Within an hour or so, you are able to harvest the thing and, cook it and, consume it within an hour or two. Whereas in city, it takes almost 2 to 3 days for a vegetable to reach your kitchen, which by which time almost 50% of the nutrients and the taste goes off. We are actually privileged to be here, having a lot of unlimited resources here. Like both of us had a stressful life in city, living in the city, like traffic. Evening used to be more stressful, and that used to impact the family atmosphere. Here everything is quite cordial, everything is quite positive, people are stress free. So living together becomes, there is more warmth, calm and happiness and joy in the family. So end of the day, that's what we look forward, and overall growth of the our venture as a family. So if I could do, everybody else can do it.